Well, great morning, everyone. Now, somebody just asked me about this Jessica, um, this attorney that died. Now, I don't claim to be psychic, but when I'm turning into her, it's like there's a loss of breath. I just feel like there was some sort of a loss of breath, not able to breathe. This could be kind of like a stress-related feeling. Now, I pulled cards, but I don't, I don't want to, I don't know if I can give it credence to it. I got the new cards, somebody sent them to me, and it was saying crime of passion, and it's my card for the wealthy Musk, Trump Musk type things and what they're building. And as I'm doing this, I'm just feeling this dizziness coming. And I think it's a stress thing. And I get the power supply. Now that would be air. Again, the wheel, when it comes to the new things that they're manipulating. And again, I'm just feeling very lightheaded and just like I cannot get my breath, cannot get my breath. And it's like the friend and things were cut. There are a lot of elements to this. It's about the falseness of the storylines and these argumentative things, the drama that keeps being put out. At the center of it is about the sorrow, a lot of depression at the heart when it comes to the White House, the things that Trump is doing. There will be the investigation and conversations and deeper things, deeper conversations about what's been seen. Potential outcome is hope when it comes to friends. And I think friends' conversations about things, but again, I'm just feeling very, all of a sudden overcome with this dizziness, unable to breathe. Yeah, then extra information, the frivolity and the arguments of controlling things. So I don't see that necessarily that she was murdered by somebody. It feels like it could be high blood pressure or something like that as well, because like I said, I'm just feeling like I'm very lightheaded. Feels like it cannot catch breath. Yeah. And I think that that's something to do with that. Now, I could be 180 degrees wrong, so don't, really take this with a huge grain of salt. But immediately, that's what I'm feeling, very restricted breath. I also am feeling just a lot of sorrow, a lot of just waves coming over. And tightness in the chest area. Yeah, tightness. Lack of breath. Dizzy. Yeah, it's just feeling like just spinning. And again, just I'm feeling like some pain in through this area. And just all of a sudden, just very lightheaded and just, like you're just going to lose consciousness. Going to lose consciousness. So I'm going to leave that here. We'll have to see what they say, what comes out. And like I said, I could be 180 degrees wrong on this, But as I'm trying to tune into her energy, that's what I'm feeling, okay? Restricted air, this pain through here, tightness, and just dizziness, and then just so lightheaded, just, now I don't know if it's like a high blood pressure or taking a medication or something, and just, again, then at that point, losing consciousness. Yeah. But, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. Like I said, I could be all wet on this, so don't take this to the bank. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm still feeling just lightheaded, like extremely lightheaded. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that here. Like I said, I could be all wet. I could be totally 100% wrong. So though, on this deck, even though it says it's a crime of passion, she was wasn't she like a prosecutor or something? So she dealt with a lot of crimes. Wow, I'm just... Yeah, when I'm looking at this, she quit. Wow. She quit and left when Trump took office. And these cards, wanting to get to a better place, moving long-term, push and pull of this energy when it comes to all the stuff that Trump is bringing in. And then I have a lot of the mental restrictions, mental sorrows, mental blocks, the abuse of power. It just... what's being worked on when it comes to the higher things or Trump families. I think it's just stress. In the world, things up in the air, judgment. I think it's stress. Like I said, could be high blood pressure, could be taking something, but again, that yeah. I'm sorry, it just, I know this is maybe not making a lot of sense. But yeah, I'm gonna go out of this energy because it's just, like I said, I'm just feeling overwhelming lightheadedness. And the minute I was tuned into it, I was feeling a real restriction of breath, not being able to get your breath. And then that tightness. And like I said, it could be due to either like a high blood pressure or taking a medication or something. Something involving those systems. I'm still feeling like breathing, a restriction in breathing. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that here. You know, like I said, I could be totally wrong, but I'm just feeling that just this overwhelming dizziness, a restriction. It could be some sort of a drug, something taken. Not to say that it was an illegal substance, you know, I'm not saying that. But it just feels like either high blood pressure or some sort of a drug thing, perhaps. I'm just going by the energy of what I'm feeling when I'm, you know, going into her energy. And I just feel like overwhelming emotional sadness. On the verge of tears. I just feel like on the verge of like I said, it could be stress-induced things as well because I'm going to leave this here. I need to come out of that energy for sure. So thanks for your question. Again, take this with a huge grain of salt. I could be totally in the ozones on this. remains to be seen. Thank you for your question, though.